Hi, and welcome to another edition of Sand Shark Bites. I'm your host, James Duffy, alongside the square pants to my SpongeBob, Carlo Peruzza. Carlo, how are things going?
Good, man. Can't wait to do another one of these.
We got another good week of sports here at USCB, and the Sand Sharks are out in all kinds of weather and excitement and wins and losses and ups and downs, and we'll kick it off with soccer like we usually do. A lot more soccer news than anything else usually. So we've had two games since the last time Sand Shark Bites has met. First was our regular rivalry against SCAD, and another close game. We seem to play these games by one goal, wins or loses it, and we went into overtime down at SCAD. Took the game on the road. Were you there for that game?
No, I wasn't, but I had the whole report from Ed, and he was saying that they scored off early. They took the lead in the first half, but second half they just weren't playing as competitive as they were in the first half, and the SCAD ended up tying it up, and they lost in overtime. But apparently in overtime they had some really good chances.
SCAD comes out real tough in the first 20 minutes or so. They really play an aggressive game, and so I know that the coach had him planning for that tough defense early on. But it was that early on time when the ball got free, and Sarah Withers got a free foot on it.
She did her first goal of the
scoring
season.
her first goal of the season. We're glad to see that as Sarah is finishing up her senior year along with so many others on our team. And so it went to overtime, heartbreaking loss once again at SCAD. And that was last Wednesday. They turned around come Saturday to play Ave Maria.
The homecoming game.
At the homecoming game, and we couldn't ask for a better homecoming game because it was 3-0 before the echo of the first whistle went away. It was a great match, a beautiful day of weather too here at the University of South Carolina Beaufort campus, and we had Finland Field all to ourselves pretty much as the Sand Sharks won 9-1 over Ave Maria.
You know, it was really an offensive explosion. After 25 minutes, Haley Pena's already gotten a hat trick.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, what next?
And then she one-ups that by getting 8 points in the game, breaking her own single game record for most points.
She had 6, now she's got 8. That's 3 goals and 2 assists for those who do math at home.
Another record that she breaks is she now has the single season goals record. It was hers previously with 11. Now she has 12 with 3 games left. So Haley Pena, she's breaking everything this year.
Yeah, it was a shooting match. Haley Pena got 3, Orduña got 2, Riley Olsen on the board with 1, and Jin Lat. Gosh, it's always so hard to. It's easy to say without looking at it, but Anna got 1. Sarah Withers got her second goal then, just less than 48 hours after her first one, and Hannah Salas on the board too.
Oh yeah, she got her first collegiate goal, which is really nice to see. She's been a great asset this year. She's a freshman, just being able to make that adjustment and playing really well. But another player besides Haley, we always give her credit, MJ Orduña. Has to get a lot of credit because she's making everything with Haley happen pretty much. The assists, just her vision with the ball, she's able to just pinpoint it to Haley so precise.
It's a great match set right there.
Right.
They're doing a lot for us.
I sat down with Haley last week, and she told me, she was like, if it wasn't for MJ, I wouldn't be having this success because she's a big part of it.
Yeah, it's that California Girls Squad really is matured into an offensive force that has really been doing us well this year. We're still 3-4 in conference play. We're looking to make that change. We got 3 more
big
games. 3 more games. We gotta.
We play against Weber International.
Got to win 500 on the road and win 1 at home, right?
And then we finish it up against Johnson and Wales. And currently we're tied with SCAD for our last playoff spot. However, SCAD does have the tiebreaker, so I'd say we need to at least win 2 of these 3 games.
Right. So we're
Southeastern a must, and then we got to win one of the other 2.
We got. If you're just looking at the odds, we're looking at winning that Southeastern game here at home on Senior Day, which should be great. And I know a lot of alumni are going to be showing up for that. We had a bunch of alumni, not a lot of soccer alumni, but a lot of softball alumni show up at the homecoming game this past weekend, which was great. We had a little alumni event, and a bunch of our graduates have shown up to show some support for the home team. But then we got, on the 18th of October, we're at Weber, and on the 28th, 10 days later, we are at Johnson and Wales. We got to win one of those 2 on the road at least, and we got to win that Southeastern at home. Not to put any pressure on you, but we got to do it. Got to get 2 out of 3, and it's going to be over here in 2 weeks. So then we should hopefully we'll have some conference play ahead of us. We'll get some tournament play in, and we'll hopefully keep going into the fall. Other things coming to an end, though. We've got cross country having our last meet of the season.
Our big one.
Our big one, the Sand Shark Invitational, which always is a big race. We've had the Sun Conference Championships on this course before, and it's a great course. It's all trail, and except for a little road run. And it's a nice course that's real competitive, and a lot of people like it. So we're going to see 30 different colleges and universities coming. That's
going to be like the running of the bulls.
Right. We're planning on having 56 teams, which will be running. The men's race goes off at 9, and the women's goes off at 9:45. It's a great, huge event. I mean, it's just huge.
It's really cool to see.
It's kind of terrifying. The ground shakes, and it's nice. They come running through a couple of times through the course, so it's not like they just take off, run into the woods, and come back like so many other cross-country events can be. We get to see them come through a few times, and it's a lot of fun. We show up early. Lots of volunteers come out at the Hardyville School Complex over by Sergeant Jasper Park, about 10 minutes away from campus here. And I don't know if we'll see the former coach, Larry Kimball, come out.
Probably a good chance.
He did show up for the LK 5K 2.0 last weekend. Saw him walking around campus, pressing the flesh and being patted on the back, and we'll probably see him out Saturday again. And but Coach Gaither had him out running this morning, 58 degrees outside. It's going to be a chilly start on Saturday.
One thing that I'm interested in seeing for the men's side is just how these we talked last week about the younger kids on the team and how they've been having such a great impact, just as like Wesley Murphy. It'd be great to see what he can do in this tournament, and then obviously Christian Sladen. He has experience with this tournament too, so it'd be great to see if we can get some good finishes.
Yeah, it's it's our home course, so we should have plenty of rest and be ready to run. And we'll see what happens. But golf isn't doing any. Well, women's will be taking off, but they haven't done anything since last we met, since last you tuned in to our little show here. But the women will be on the road, heading up to Rock Hill, South Carolina, at the Winthrop Intercollegiate. And so they'll be teeing off there. We're expecting big things out of that. We could really dominate this
I think so, for
here.
sure.
Hopefully we'll see some hardware out of that one. And then men's golf go to Miami, Florida next week towards the end of the month, the 23rd of October. Men's golf is down in Miami at the Dave Adamanis Invitational at the Doral Resort in Miami. We'll have highlights from all that and maybe some interviews, but definitely some updates for you on the next episode of Sand Shark Bites. And then the last out-of-season play, a little softball.
They're back.
They're back. The alumni came back to play in the alumni game for homecoming, and we had about 14 players come back to play against the new Sand Sharks. And the alumni show up, and they still know how to play some ball. It's
the competition level is real.
And the alumni pulled the game out 2-1 in a game that we weren't really keeping score at. But we do have to say that Abby Pack and Kenny Crosby and the whole pitching staff kept them to 5 scoreless innings until Sand Shark hitting coach Ellie Simmons gets up and puts a two-run dinger out of the park. And scoring, I think Missy Hughes was the other run that scored. Yeah. And we've seen that happen before.
Unreal.
Missy gets on base and Allie gets her home. And with that, we had Christy Cook on the mound again, which is always great to see. Christy did so much work for us as a Sand Shark pitcher. Ashley Lehman and Naomi Catt were also on the pitching staff for the alumna team. And but Sam Bolin was here, Missy was here, Lehman was here, Shelby Zipperer, Chelsea Blasingame. Yeah, I mean all the highlights.
Sand Shark legends.
Caitlin Vaughn, Mariah Sanborn. I've got a list in front of me. I'm trying to see it. But I don't know who I haven't met. It's Courtney Prince, who's still around, and it was a great, a lot of them. 14 of them showed up. We've been doing this about 3 years now. It's a great, fun homecoming event, and it's a laugh riot. So if you're in town, next thing we got to put together is a baseball alumni game.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
We got to figure out a soccer alumni game that we'd have to do in the spring. It's a spring celebration. I'm going to talk to Coach Heberling after this season ends, after he's got a few things off his plate. We're going to start working on that for a spring. Maybe not this spring, but a spring game.
This game, it's such a good tradition. I mean, it's yearly. The players all look forward to it. They have such a good time. I mean, it brings faces that we haven't seen in a year or two. And so it's great.
We forget the changes we see on campus, and when these students who graduated 3, 4, 5 years ago come, they look around and see what's going on here on campus. It's great to be reminded of how much we are growing with the things that the initiatives we're planning here, trying to build a new baseball and softball field, trying to raise money for that, trying to raise money for Larry Kimball's vision of a track and field facility on campus. You can look at the USCB homepage and look at the Hilton Head campus that's being built as we speak. That's going to open in the fall of 2018, and a real initiative to make some changes on the historic Beaufort campus, where we're going to have honors programs up there, nursing, biology, starting next fall. Again, that's the fall of 18. A lot of things happening.
A lot of changes
in 2018. So keep tuned there. So anyhow, going back to softball though, and the alumni that come back, you went out to the game. And
we did our first catch up with Carlo of the year. Me and Mike Manning, the assistant soccer coach. We've pretty much been partners so far this year, doing all the media work. We have a bunch of interviews on the school website for you guys to check out, and on the YouTube. But we decided on the YouTube.
Okay. So let's do some catching up with Carlo.
Let's do some catching up.
Let's see what you got for us this week.
Today, we're at the USCB annual student versus alumni softball game. Today, we're going to talk to players on both sides and really find out why this is such a special game. Stick around. What makes this game such a tradition?
I think it's all about just like getting to play against the people that built the foundation for this program and getting to show them the respect. I have a lot of respect for all those girls. They kicked butt for the first 5 years of the program before I got here, 4 years. And it's just about like having fun and just getting to know them and learning from them about how their college experience was. So it's fun to learn from them.
Getting to be out here with all of our friends all the time, making relationships through the years. You know, we get this for 4 years and then it's over, and then we get this alumni game and we all get to come back and, you know, play with teammates from past, from, you know, the year before, and get to play some of the players that we played against or played with from last year. So I feel like that's really what makes it a tradition.
All of us getting to come back together and just, I guess it's just being together again.
You know, just bringing the girls back. Usually around the summertime, I just kind of get in touch and say, you know, who's going to be able to make it. But everybody jumps to this. They're like, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here. And I have some that are far away that can't get here, some that are having children, and some that are getting married. But this tradition is just something that brings this team, the alumni, back, because they like to be with each other and they, you know, want to have fun and be on this field.
Do you guys actually take this game seriously?
Yes, we do. We take it very serious. We had Coach Allie over there pumping us up before the game, saying we were going to beat them down. So.
Yes, I do, because our coaches talk a lot of smack, and Coach Allie will rub it in our faces for the entire season, so I take it very serious.
Kayla Boyle was telling us that this is a must-win, because if not, Coach Allie was going to rub it in their faces for the rest of the season. Has she really been talking a lot of trash?
I mean, she's been talking some. I mean, she'll tweet something like, got in my lift today, ready to get in, you know, this weekend. But more on the day of the game, Coach Allie's the one who's talking junk to the team, telling the pitchers, this is where this person hits, and, you know, getting in our team's head. But Coach Allie, if they win, Coach Allie will say something for a while.
I've been talking trash all week. I'm like, we're going to win. We're going to kill y'all. And they're like, we know. But they're really just saying that to pump my head up.
Lastly, can you just preview the upcoming season for us and just tell us what we should expect?
You know, we have a lot of talent. We got a lot of young girls, but we have 14 new players, or actually 13 new players and 12 returners. We have a lot of depth. We've got speed, we've got power, we've got the pitching, we've got the defense. And if this team really just learns each other, grows as one, and really buys into what's going on, this team, the limit's out there. They have so much out in front of them that they can truly go after and end strong, whether it's at the conference tournament, opening round, or the World Series. But this team has a lot of talent, and I can see their future's going to be bright.
That's a wrap for this week. Catch up with me again. I'm Carlo Perusa. Stay tuned.
Stand by. We are rolling.
I'm scared.
And I do miss the reaction of our former host here of when we would come back from catching up with Carlo, but now we have Carlo right here with us, and the head shaking I'm sure that's going on in some circles is just heartwarming. So anyhow, it's great to have that segment in there, Carlo.
Yeah.
It's good to see you developing your skills as a communications studies major here at the university, and we're going to, again, I keep saying this, you're going to be a talented individual coming out of this this program, and we'll look to see if we can't get you employed somewhere in the future. But the last thing, here's what we got to do, Player of the Week.
The Player of the Week.
And this always comes, we've got a little staff meeting before the show starts about what we're going to put on and what reasons and the candidates we have. And of course, Haley Pena keeps getting, she keeps breaking records.
You can't give it to her every week.
But she can't get it every week. And she may get it on paper, but sometimes we got to look at some of our people who have been putting in the time and putting in the energy, and we're seeing it pay off this week. And so for this week's Player of the Week, it is still another member of the soccer team, but we want to give it to senior from abroad, Sarah Weathers, who got her first 2 goals and 2 assists this week in games against SCAD and Ave Maria. So congratulations, Sarah. We hope we'll say your name at least one more time before you're out the door. But we got all these graduates.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We got to pay them a little homage, and we are pleased with you. I got to meet Sarah's folks this weekend too, and that was very nice. They stopped by the alumni beer garden tent and got to talk to John for a little bit, and have a drink with him. And anyhow, congratulations, Sarah, and you certainly earned it. Way to get points on the board, way to show up and be a Sand Shark. That's all we're going to do for today. So until next week, keep those fins up.